first up for you on this Thursday morning, new developments in the scandal involving New York Congressman Anthony Wiener.
Another picture has surfaced on the internet of the lawmaker. This one, too, X-rated to show on TV. You may have seen it on the internet, but we are just not going to show it here. It comes after Wiener earlier this week confessed to lying about posting a lewd photo of himself on Twitter. The congressman, who is newly married and whose wife we have recently learned is pregnant, also admitted to sexually fueled online chats with a number of women.
Of course, the question is being asked a lot this week, is online flirting or sexting cheating? Michelle Rappaport Moore is a certified sex addiction therapist right here in Memphis. Michelle, welcome to Live at 9. Good to see you.
Good morning.
So let's just break it down here. There's so much has been said about Congressman Wiener this past week. Much more will be said, it seems, as well. What are we dealing with here? Is this cheating?
You know, that's a great question, and I think there's a lot of controversy about it. But what it boils down to is anything in a relationship that kind of breaks those bonds of commitment and fidelity, and anything that's a secret and I don't do without my partner's knowledge is something that is considered cheating. So if you have an agreement in your relationship that you're going to be having online relationships or sending certain kinds of pictures, and your partner knows about it and they're okay with it, then it's not cheating.
But isn't he saying, I didn't have sex with these women?
I didn't touch them.
Right, right.
So is that still applicable or not?
And it is, unless they have an agreement between the two of them that it's okay to send those kinds of explicit pictures and things like that, and his wife is okay with it. My suspicions is she didn't know, she wasn't aware, he kept it secret, right, which is all part of the draw of doing these behaviors, is the secretness of them.
It just seems that it may be because we hear the reports so much more because they are prominent men, but it seems like men in power have this problem perhaps too frequently. What is it about the powerful position?
That's an ongoing topic, and there are many men in power who have issues that are about abusing power and issues like narcissism and things that fuel some of that. But the truth is it happens with everyday men and women as well in other positions of power, teachers and people in not just public figures but in private sectors, bosses and things like that. That power's part of some of that.
Is it an aphrodisiac?
It can be, absolutely, because that's really, in the world of sex addiction, that's a big part of the draw. It's not about sex, and it's about power, and it's about who's got it. So,
but going back, Michelle, on something else you were saying, so this isn't primarily a gender issue, just with males out there. We're perhaps seeing, maybe not as noticeable, some women as well.
Absolutely.
Also abusing this?
Yeah, this issue is not gender specific. I think particularly with the ease and the anonymity of the online and social networking worlds, women have really started utilizing that as much. And it almost gives kind of a cushioned way of doing these behaviors that don't feel like people will get caught.
Well, we had the Arlington teacher
exactly.
who lost her job just
exactly.
My question though is, at what point does this whatever attraction there is to sending these pictures, right, override just basic intelligence that I'm not going to get caught?
Right.
If that's, I mean, these people, Anthony Wiener is supposed to be smart. He's a member of Congress.
Yeah.
Well, where's the
thinking
that somehow the attraction, does it just shut down the intellectual part that, I am going to get caught doing this?
You put it perfectly, as a matter of fact, because that is the neurobiology behind this stuff, is that you're talking about two very different parts of the brain. And the part of the brain that's emotionally wired that really fuels a lot of these behaviors is not connected to the other part that is about logic and reason and rational.
It seems to be with some people, though.
Unless you're talking about people that really really have an emotional maturity or that are not under a significant amount of stress, which is part of that power thing. You're talking about people that are in very stressful positions and stressful places in their life. And when that happens, those places can kind of go offline from each other. It's kind of like if you've had a stressful day and you're on a food plan and you want to go to the buffet and you just let loose and you're not really thinking about, that's not good for me.
Right. Michelle, we have about 30 seconds left here, but is this really a new phenomenon? Hasn't this type of behavior been going on with email, even back to the days of the old phone, somebody picking up the phone, whistling, trying to talk, hey, look at me.
True. Yes, okay. What I'll say is that, and it's part of why it's in the news, it's so much more prevalent now because of the online world, social media, access is, I mean, you're talking about cell phones. You can do that 24/7. It's just an ease that we are not used to in previous generations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Michelle, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Wow. So what do you think? Is online flirting or sexting over your cell phone cheating? We want to know. Or over your computer, of course. That goes without saying. Go to the Live at 9 Facebook page right now and leave your comments under this topic that we've posted on our wall. We'll show you some of the responses a little later this morning on Live at 9.
All right. I'm sure we'll be hearing
What
from
a
a lot of folks for
question.
sure.
Thank you, Michelle.